Friends of our channel and YouTubers, welcome. Answers of an Alien from Andromeda, Video 111, January 7, 2014. This large number of groups and people disappearing on a larger scale across the planet is part of protection programs that some races are already providing to their peers, seeded here long ago with their DNA. An Asian government, of the most populous country of your planet, knows about these moves and are trying to work with some races for the protection of certain ethnic groups, in exchange for a higher stake in the new society to be created on the planet. They provided including appropriate places for these relocations. It is clear that aid is being welcomed by some races, but that does not mean a position of trustees for this government in question in the future society. Things are starting to happen, regardless of your media does not inform in no time the veracity of the facts. All that somehow desired to see and feel the samples of the end of current society, and always expressed their disappointment when the galactical community interfered to minimize the events, these will want and ask for these interferences with certainty. Many have criticized CB for transcribing our conversations, not understanding the sequence of events, not following these years of guidance on the happenings, and these are the ones who will cry for help when going through difficulties and feel on the skin the lack of preparation and conscientization of them and their families. Yes, some ancient alien technologies, protected by time in your Middle East for millennia, and other sites of Siberia and the Americas were forcibly taken from their places of deposit. The most dangerous were screened by Pleiadians to avoid being detonated by total ignorance of your scientists on their operation. This deactivation of ancient artifacts that could be dangerous is being carried out by teams Pleiadians only. Questions regarding the recent events at military installations in North America are linked to deactivation of artifacts that were removed from their places, mostly ancient deposits kept by the people of the Middle East as sacred, and wrongly required for scientific research. Besides the fact that they have been the subject of thousands of dead in facade wars promoted with the sole aim of getting hold of these artifacts. A great shame of your elites. I'll only mention this subject one last time. On statements of such a galactic federation, the word federation is not used in any way to determine breed sovereign of independent planets. A federation can gather only colonies of different races on the same planet. In a galactic level, there are only communities that are free to access the planets at level 1 of the third dimension and that wish to join. No sovereign planet is bound to be part of a community, unlike a federation. Therefore, I can tell you that there is no kind of federation when talking about races and autonomous planets. Saying the last time, the planet will not go for a fourth or fifth or any other dimension. This is a third dimension universe, and everything is still here in the third dimension. That makes sense to you? And another thing that I also speak for the last time, there is no interaction between the third and fourth dimension, there is no multidimensional interaction, it is a romantic reverie of your pseudo-scientific community. There are 10 levels in the third dimension that are easily confused with other dimensions. Everything that your pseudo-scientific community cannot explain converges to this story of multidimensional. The only interaction with the fourth dimension is when you're disembodied, in a different quantum state. Do not be deceived anymore by those poorly formulated terms. Regarding the beginning of the physical changes of the planet, follow the weather, you will understand where the new poles will run, pay attention to your oceans, They will be the first to manifest as a result of the tectonic pressure reliefs and large demonstrations of strength of thine atmosphere. The holes in your magnetosphere, caused by the interaction of forces with your Sun, possible strong energy emissions as a result of alignments that will add the gravitational tunnels of various planets of the system during this period, will cause changes in temperature that may vary more than 50 degrees centigrade during the same day in some parts of the world, and it can disrupt your electrical and electronic systems, for certain periods, days or months. Regional populations must adapt to these realities passing, until to stabilize the planet again. This news you guys will not have in your routine media. Be prepared. Do you remember many months ago when I talked about thrusters installed on the moon for possible maneuvers? Well, these thrusters will be tested by these days, in the case of the world's oceans behave, so as to cause major extinctions. Moon will be used to offset the oceanic movements. If it is actually used, you will be able to observe your moon maneuvering in different orbits until it stabilizes again depending on the final position of the resulting tilt of the planet. You will have news of meteors entering your atmosphere, more dangerously in places where the distortion of the layer causes a smaller thickness, and even news about fake alien attacks can be run on your official media. Another thing that I consider important to say, aliens are not fallen demons nor fallen angels, quite the contrary. All who travel by spaceships in the universe are much more developed than any earthling that's still based on novels transformed into rules of life 3-year-old but active religions, and not in his own consciousness. As I said in the beginning, many groups will be relocated, fading in the air, as many are already disappearing. Be sure that we'll be here. We will not leave you alone. That light and perseverance always be with you all.